In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Our culture and world loves darkness, loves movies with lots of violence and mayhem, loves movies with gun battles and conflict, movies where the guys with the guns make the rules. But even more than that, we love our monsters. For some of us, the beastier, the better. Some of us even have monsters for pets. We love watching monster movies, watching people get trampled and killed by fictional monsters. We love our monsters so much that we build large movie theaters with Dolby Digital, surround sound, and 3D so that we can experience the mayhem with greater intensity. And sometimes, with guilty pleasure, we sometimes even find ourselves rooting for the monster or convincing ourselves that we would behave better than the stupid victims we see on the screen, or celebrating when the hero finally manages to bring the monster down. But the lingering question is, are we falling for a 1,000-year-old trick called bread and circuses?
Two things only the people anxiously desire, bread and circuses. Roman poet Juvenal.
So, what is bread and circuses?
Bread and circuses refers to pacifying people with food and entertainment to prevent them from taking action on civic duties.
And it's been an effective pacification tool for thousands of years. So, is our obsession with fictional monsters and smaller real monsters distracting our attention from the real monsters, as our science community reminds us of some real-world monsters that are threatening our communities and destroying lives and property in increasing numbers? We shell out millions of dollars to sit and watch our fictional monsters parade on the screen. As artificial intelligence takes the job of hundreds of thousands and threatens the jobs of millions more, we sit and watch fictional characters as our world fills up with images of fictional monsters and drummed up threats to us. Our attention is continually drawn away from the real threats we face and lesser threats to us, like a fictionalized invasion of illegal immigrants. Our attention is continually drawn away from the real threats we face, like the invasion of AI technologies, sucking up middle-class jobs, the increasing acceptance of using military squads against American citizens, like future pandemics, the increasing threat of climate change, or the arrival of a new religious movement in America built around political affiliation, leaving the cross of Jesus Christ far behind.
Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition.
The Bible tells us that there will come a falling away from the true faith. Many people believe that would be people leaving the church, and that is happening. But many churches themselves are becoming unfaithful and leaving Christ, having a form of godliness, but denying its power.
But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people.
So, as we sit and watch these monsters on the screen, we have to ask ourselves, what is there within ourselves that fascinates us so with such evil? And are all these fictional monsters just a tool to draw our attention away from the real threats we face, like the advent of AI, beholden only to their corporate masters, the phasing in of a Bitcoin-based world currency to replace the American dollar, the emergence of universal surveillance system, whereby homeowners have signed over their own homes to be hubs in this new unified system, using AI object and facial recognition technology that can contextualize activities and profile individuals. The rise of a Christian nationalist religious movement that has abandoned Christ in favor of conformance to fear-based philosophies of their political masters. Speakers who can talk for hours without ever mentioning a thing that Jesus actually believed in or taught, tied to a political movement that justifies oppressing the poor, immigrants, and crushing any dissent in its path. And while it's true that there is a subculture of criminal gangs within a small percentage of illegal immigrants, we play into the hands of our would-be masters by ignoring the much larger threat approaching us from our blind side. So, the next time the corporate media machine tries to draw you into some small monster story about some drummed-up small monster threat, remember how they did nothing to prepare us in advance for COVID, including the empty shelves and shortages, the months of isolation. And while bin Laden was preparing the 9/11 attacks, the media was chattering on and on about Bill Clinton and his affair with Monica Lewinsky. The media will not help us at this time. We must go to God in prayer and become that church that Jesus referred to when he said that God's house would be called a house of prayer, not a house of perpetual study, political gatherings, or socializing, but a real house of community prayer to God. Because there is no threat, big or small, that God cannot handle.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
In the challenging days ahead, we need to wake up from our complacency and slumber and become the salt and light that God expects from His church in the last days. In this segment, we talked about how the media likes to keep us focused on the little monsters while ignoring the larger threats in the room. In the next segment, we will discuss how our culture puts makeup on monsters in an effort to lower our national and personal moral standards, and how it can impede our maturity in Christ.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.